mic does sound right. How you doing? I'm DK.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Talk about it. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about the Iraqi dinar. There's going to be noise in the background. I'm sitting here in my living room, and the parrots to my left making a bunch of noise. My left, your right, maybe. And the dogs are behind me fighting, so I'll be interrupted a few times to take care of that. However, I just want to remind everybody that if you decide to make a comment, please keep your comments focused on the material at hand. We're not going to really permit you slandering any gurus or anybody else involved, including myself, because of being a bit disgruntled over the delay in the outcomes for the Iraqi dinar. If one really believes that the Iraqi dinar is a scam, sell out and leave and move on with your life. Otherwise, let's focus on the material and keep the dream alive. And I'm going to give information to hopefully help keep the dream alive. Remember, this is a channel for adults, not babies. Baby, B-A-B-Y. Blame anybody but yourself. It's nobody's fault but our own that we're in this Iraqi dinar. And we made the choice eventually, unless somebody robbed you of your money, bought it with your money, and then gave it to you. You made the choice yourself. So with that choice, we're going to cover some information. And I'm going to be doing the cover it with you. So let's get it going. We'll start here with Holly, Judy, Pimpy, and more. And we see Wednesday thoughts from Holly. She says, "Good morning, roomies." I wonder if she's Australian or English or whatever. That's not your average American English type of talking. What do we still need to happen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, German bonds started, but they need to hit a percentage of payments. 2, the other bonds need to begin. 3, bogey, shut up. Fines and penalties and all other settlements need to be released. D1 and 2 need to be released. The release of, it won't last. He'll only shut up for a little while. We have been in this holding pattern for a long time. Once the dam breaks, it will happen quickly. Iraq is to announce their president on Saturday. That's something that can be verified as soon as Friday in the United States of America, because we're about 8 hours behind them starting on the East Coast. That should move things along for them as well. And I'd like to touch on the fact that their budget still hasn't been done for 2022. And that should tell you something about what's going on for the naysayers about there being a financial change and things of that nature. There is a financial change occurring, folks. And that financial change, you can call the global currency reset if you like. You can call it whatever you want to call it. But it's happening. Okay, so she says, stay strong, keep the faith, keep working on being a better you while we wait. Never, ever give up. Holly. I'm going to address being a better you because I agree with that. And I'm going to tell you why I'm saying this. Because if one focuses on maligning, slandering, being liable against somebody they've never met because of the decision they made in their life, your focus is on them. And so your focus is not on you. And if your focus is not on you, how are you going to make yourself a better person? By griping? You're not going to make yourself a better person that way. RV excerpts from the Restored Republic via a GCR. Let's consider that. Excuse me. Okay, I'm going to squirm a little bit because I have a bad back and sciatica. And I'm right-handed and I got a bad right hand. So things sometimes get a little jacked up here, but I'll work on it. So when we look at the RV excerpts from a Restored Republic via a GCR, we can see a lot of things going on there. The Redemption Center staff began working full-time, had a full in-house meeting on Tuesday, yesterday. Red letter date that every country's new gold asset-backed currency rates were effective, according to Putin. We have the CMKX, Farm Claims, Prosperity Package, groups out of on bondholders, process of being paid, per Bruce and Mark. We have Rodriguez and St. Germain funds that are supposed to fund this. The Federal Reserve note USD, and then we have the big call. We should also touch on that. A lot of them are kind of saying the same things. So that's, I guess, encouraging that they're saying the same things. We can see again here reference to the same trust utilized for the Nisara Gesara. And it says here, according to Bruce, okay, so that's where we're at. Charlie Ward's the head guy for the global plan. Okay, Charlie Ward apparently has had people send him their dinar, or at least people have said so. My first thought is it really Charlie Ward, number one, or have you been duped? And if it is Charlie Ward, well, then proceed with caution if you know. But I will say what I said in the last video. Um, Currency is a bearer instrument. Keep your Iraqi dinar, your Vietnamese yuan, your Zim, your dollar bills, everything that you can besides digital currency and cryptocurrency. Keep it in your pocket. And even if you have cryptocurrency, get yourself a hard wallet. Get it out of the banks and put it in your control for now, because things are pretty tumultuous. Excuse me. The Federal Reserve note will probably complete cleanup by the end of March. Interesting, that's the USD. And then the USN should start around the first part of April. Interesting again. So we can look forward to things of that nature when we go to the Restored Republic via a GCR. This is where a lot of that source information comes from. And it's encapsulated, or I should say consolidated, excuse me, as well. But here we have a message that says, "Welcome to the Great Awakening, Operation Z, or the End, World War Z. Trust the plan. From the evil deep state SWIFT to the People's Quantum Financial System." I don't necessarily know if that's the People's, unless it's not the People's Republic of China. I got an issue with AI, but one thing is absolutely certain: this is happening, folks. SWIFT is dying, and now it's the Saudi Arabia nations have also done the same. Judy notes that the world is very dependent on China for virtually everything. That's been orchestrated and designed, and that they're about to pull the plug. So it's strongly advised. I like to focus this because I'm here to try to help people. To have at least 2 to 3 weeks worth of food, fuel, cash, and essential items in storage for yourself and others around you, not so awake as you. Yeah, we could be in some tumultuous times. I've talked about the Preparedness Day that was declared years back as well. And for them to do that should tell us something. This is just a repeat of the information that we've pretty much already discussed and covered. And we can see Bruce's big call here. The links will be in the description, so you'll be able to click on these blue links and everything if you want to go see even more. But I see this over here, preparing for your exchange and redemption appointment. That's really where I want to help people. Start preparing your minds. It's kind of like the bridesmaids with the lanterns, and some ran out of oil and they had to leave and go get more oil. You don't want to be that person. Let's cover some of Texas snake, because this is different from the other stuff. And I don't know snake. Okay. But it's some kind of communication between the two. And it says, as of closing of Friday, fiat and other currencies stop being traded. Now that's on a global scale, and it could very well be true. And I do know that a lot of situations are going on with Ripple, and a country just recently announced that they can. Oh, Canada! It was Canada recently announced that they are able to trade in their monies in seconds. That's certainly not SWIFT if they're doing it in seconds. The fiat US dollar will be phased out by the end of the physical year in September. And the change to gold back will occur. Again, we talk about these global food shortages. The fact that this is a tax-free event, the state you live in might take a state tax. Whenever this does begin, it will start in Hong Kong and then Europe and move over to us. I said that in a recent video, east to west. Well, actually, Russia went first, gold back, and then China. But Russia's as far east as you can go. And that's then Europe, and then coming on over to South Africa and apparently Canada. But one thing is certain, I believe the United States is going to be last. For reasons already stated, you can go to my prior videos to find that out. Here we have the World Economic Forum, again talking about their ominous warning. And usually when they give these warnings, folks, they already know what they're getting ready to do. Makes them look smart when they say something's going to happen, and then they're the reason for making it happen. Because who sets the prices? I watched a short, like a TikTok short on YouTube, where a gentleman filled his semi truck, and he filmed it. He filmed the pump, and the pump had a total bill for fueling his truck of $1,052. If that's not killing the dollar, I don't know what is, because you have to realize, folks, just like the Zimbabwe Zim has all them zeros after it because it was so devalued. With the U.S. dollar, it's so spread out. They didn't devalue the dollar by adding zeros to it. They just increased the price of everything, but it still takes more of them to buy anything. And so that's going to have to go out with the financial system. And if you don't believe that's the case, I mean, it's going to be hard pressed to try to convince you that it is. But folks, it certainly is. It certainly is. Okay, so looking at this Zero Hedge article here for the ominous warning over the coming food crisis. Well, here it is, Zero Hedge. And it shows just how out of touch they are with us. They treat us like, cattle. It says here, recommend getting used to lentils instead of meat. And then here's Bloomberg's opinion. Can you see? Take the bus. Don't buy in bulk. Really. Try lentils instead of meat. Do they really think they're helping us with these recommendations? And for them to go so far as to actually make these recommendations, nobody said this would be fun. What? Folks, if you can't see the mockery going on to the human race through all of this, I can't help you see it. And that's why this is bigger than Iraqi dinar and money. This is huge.
Alrighty, I had to take a quick break, so I'm going to throw this in. I'm going to wrap it up with March, Texas Snake and Head from the 19th of March. Some have been receiving notifications from the banks regarding new procedures. At the closing of trade on Friday, fiat and other currencies stopped being traded. Snake says, I received a call late Friday afternoon from my banker friend who's in charge redemption centers in 5 states. He told me that this weekend none of his redemption center personnel would be working. This is the first time he has given all his employees time off since this started, but not to be concerned because starting Monday morning, 21 March, his entire staff will be in full force, and by Monday to Tuesday they will be very busy. I took this as a very positive comment that they are anticipating the start this week. What's Wednesday, folks? Continuing. 2 different banks mentioned to me about what is supposed to happen this coming week. They're going to be participating in something that has never been done before. We are truly on the verge of this happening. And then Snake goes on to say, I can confirm banks are aware of the QFS, and all nations are also aware of all things coming regarding the monitoring of where the funds come and go. 2 people I know were given debit cards that didn't work, but now they do, and are spending their 1%. That's a huge statement. They were visited by someone from the Treasury personnel, I guess it means personnel, to make sure they work. That's huge. I don't know anything about Snake, but that's a huge statement right there. Then Ed goes on to say, this coming week we should get our notifications for the RV. There were 214 countries connected to the QFS. The media is describing it as coming off of SWIFT because of the mess that's going on over there, Russia and Ukraine and things of that nature. But the fact of the matter is, they're coming off of SWIFT. They need to be going on to something. So let's just use logic. If they're coming off of SWIFT, they need to be going on to something, no matter what title or name they give it. Moving on. The fiat US dollar will be phased out by the end of the fiscal year in September 2022. The change to gold-backed currency might trigger the announcement. The new US Treasury will be in charge. All credit cards and terms will not function. Under the QFS system, these debts must be zeroed out. Okay, so that's something you can look forward to. When your credit cards stop working, and don't panic. It might be a good thing. You go up to the counter and you want to pay for something with a credit card, and you swipe the credit card and it doesn't work. Okay, well, go check your business, but it might be a good thing. So stay planted, grounded, firm, resolved. The IRS is dead as we know it. That being said, the tax day this year I think is April 18th, and if the IRS is dead, I know a lot of people have already filed their taxes, me being one of them. If the IRS is dead, they're going to have to reconcile things, I would imagine, but time will tell. This is a tax-free event. It's a private treaty that was signed back in 2015 by 209 countries and is not part of public records. There will be a CPA or government official at all RC centers who will tell you or put in writing that this is a tax-free event. Your state may have a tax. We've read all this. Whenever this does begin, it will start in Hong Kong. We covered that. On the 24th, that's tomorrow, where I'm at. On the 24th, we should be on real-time banking, which we should get our notifications prior to this. All currency sales will stop. Wells Fargo has the money available waiting, and money is waiting to pay out the FMPs. That's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of commitment. But it's easy for us to be patient and just wait and find out if it's true. And that looks like it might be worthy of another video right there, full report PDF, but I'll take a look and see. But for now, that's it. And I threw this together. I know it's a little in and out, off and on, but I hope you at least get something out of it. I'm DK Will, and this is DK Will Talk About It. And since I talked about it, have a wonderful day.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.